So it's World Autism Awareness Week, Acceptance Week, Understanding Week, World Autism Week. All right, let's get into it. Guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the Aspie World. Where do I start? Okay, this video is kind of like one of those long and edited, this is my mind, this is what I'm thinking about kind of videos, right? And I thought a lot about this because it's April, it's first week of April 2024, which means it's World Autism Acceptance Week, right? And even that, right? Acceptance Week. Like, you speak World Autism Awareness Week, and I get it. People say like, oh, everybody's aware of autism now, but they don't always accept it. I'm like, okay, well, if people don't accept autism, that's their beef, that's their issue. What you really need to be doing is getting people educated on it, right? And it gets to me, okay, because all I see, like literally all I see is hundreds and hundreds of self-proclaimed influencers. Like, I know I'm an influencer, right? Okay, so I have a YouTube channel and this is my job and like I do all these things for autism awareness. Like, I love helping and gaining understanding on a global scale of autism and the intricacies of those. That's my job, it's my due diligence, it's my mission in life is to help you as autistic people, as autistic community, right? But I see people within the community bitching, moaning, complaining, negative. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, you see people like, this is what you should say on World Autism Awareness Week. It's Acceptance Week, and this is what you need to do. It's a what do they call it? It's people who have autism, not with autism or have autism. It's an autistic person. Always kind of first person language. When we start dictating to people, like, you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that, what we actually are doing is we're being very narcissistic, or we're being kind of like, and I know people say, oh, well, narcissism could be potentially autism, but it's coming across as narcissism. No. There's a massive difference between narcissism and autism. And some of those differences are like, an autistic person will do the things unbeknowing that they're behaving those ways, but a narcissist will do things in a way to control the situation, to implement their ideas across the board, right? And that, to me, is the definition of what's going on here. We have these so-called influencers, which are people who they just got a really big voice, right? And they're just shouting the loudest. It doesn't mean that they're better at anything than anybody else. And also, they're changing the narrative. I've seen a lot of this kind of weird, like, dangerous stuff where they're like, oh, we're not going to call it autism anymore, and autism is not a disability, and you can't call it. I got dry skin on my nose, guys. I can see it in the corner of my eye. It's like, bah. Anyway, if you can see the dry skin, I'm sorry. I've been doing a lot of facial treatment and stuff. Anyway, just to make sure my skin stays fresh and healthy, you got to take care of yourself. Yo, take care of yourself. But you know what I mean? Like, they're changing the narrative. They're like, you can't say autism is a disability. Well, it is a disability. It's debilitating. It debilitates people daily. Sometimes my life has been so difficult with autism. I sometimes think that if I unalived or if I wasn't here, then things would be easier, right? And that's difficult to talk about, difficult to say, difficult to admit, but it happens, right? But it's something that is apparent. It's apparent because, autistic people don't just think it's a breeze. Kind of like on the same, which one is it? Like people are like, autism not a disability, and then they say, oh, autism not a superpower. It's like, okay, well, it's not a superpower, but it could be. There's certain parts of it that are superpower or superistic, like, my ability to digest information and retain that information and recall it later at date, long, massive pieces of information. Like, that's kind of like, a power that not neurotypical people can have. But I don't think autism in general is a superpower. I don't think there's anything super about having those neurological difficulties, right, and disabling disabilities. But there are profound differences, right? You have people on the autism spectrum who can't, verbally speak, who can't, change themselves, can't use the bathroom on their own. I know loads of people like this. And me as an autistic person, I get kind of like imposter syndrome about this quite a bit, thinking like, oh, I've got a diagnosis that's similar to this other person, and, they have way higher support needs than me. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to feel like that, and it's okay to feel kind of like, oh, man. But I still have my own issues, right? And not on the scale this person does, but I do have my own issues. And actually, my scale of other issues could be greater than theirs, right? And that's okay, but we should never forget those people. Those people are autistic people. That's exactly why I started this channel, a voice for people who don't have a voice, right? Making autism less lonely. My entire brand now is about making autism less lonely. That's what I'm trying to do, because there's so many lonely people on the autism spectrum. We're going to get even more lonely if we start segregating each other, because people say, don't support Autism Speaks, right? Don't light it up blue, don't light it up yellow, light it up gold and red instead. And oh my God. Oh, it's a colour, right? It's a colour. Nobody cares, right? What are you physically doing to help, right? Going online and telling a mum who's spent the last 3 years as part of her local Autism Speaks group, right, and raised over $1,000 for their local autism club to buy iPads for the kids who are underprivileged and didn't have access to iPads, but now they can, and now they have a voice. Don't come at me. Don't come at anybody telling them that they're wrong for supporting Autism Speaks in that manner. You know what I mean? Like, that's just stupid. Like, you know, Autism Speaks have a shady past, yes, and they have shady history, and they've got all this kind of weird stuff going on. We're going to get to them. Not in this video. I'm going to do a video all about it. And I'm no way in shape or form saying that I'm an Autism Speaks supporter right now. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, you can't just target, you know, mums of autistic kids. And this is another thing. People use this day to bash other autistic people. Like, oh, you know, you can't use the term Asperger's, and oh no, your information is toxic or poisonous. No, dudes. Like, This is why I didn't put information out on World Autism Awareness Day. What I did instead is this video, which I'll try and kind of put a snippet in here. I put it on Instagram and TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, just saying like, hey, it's World Autism Acceptance Day, or whatever, or World Autism Day. You know, rather than me tell you about autism, ask me questions. How can I help you? How can I serve you? You guys are my audience. You guys are, you know, this is my community. This is my tribe. Like, I want to hang out with you guys, you know, and like, this is my autistic empire, you know, like, I'm big up to the autistic empire, woo, you know, like, and it annoys me because changing narratives, like, saying that, like, you know, like, you can't say with autism or has autism, or, you know, have to use autistic person. You don't have to do shit. You can do whatever you feel is right. You're an autistic person, you have your own rights, your own initiative, your own, you know, we live in a society where we're allowed to call people plural. We're allowed to say they and them, right, for a single person. And that's fine. I don't care. You can use those pronouns because that's you. And I think that's great that you have the ability to do that. Just as I have the ability to use the term Aspie or Asperger's or whatever, it doesn't define you as a person. Your actions towards the group define you as a person. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, let's stop being narcissistic. Let's stop being negative. Let's stop going against the grain. Why don't we encourage the community to come together? Why don't we do something as a group? What are you doing to encourage the betterment of the group? Every single piece of my business, when we make a decision, when me and my team sit down and make a decision, we think, is this going to better the group as a whole? If the answer is no, then we're not going to do it. Is a video bitching about autism mums, giving them a backhand slap because they're learning in this journey, in this process, and they're doing the best for their kid. You know, is it right to bash them? Well, no, of course it's not. Is that going to better the group? No, it's actually going to segregate the group more. It's going to make those moms scared of reaching out for help. Do you think you're going to meet someone head on with negativity and they're going to be like, oh, great, thank you so much for that. It's amazing. I think you're just so cool. No, that's BS. My nose is really itchy now because of this dry skin I got my nose. Do my head in. But guys, the biggest takeaway for me from all this is that, like, let's stop dictating what you should be doing with your life on the autism spectrum, right? We're here to help and advocate. If you're an autistic influencer watching this, then come with me on this journey of helping and accepting and learning together with the greater community. Let's stop segregating out. Let's stop saying that somebody can't do this or somebody can't do that, and you need to do this, and you need to light up green or red or whatever, gold or whatever. Like, those things don't matter, right? That doesn't matter. What actions, what steps are you taking to improve the condition of the group? That's what matters. How are we pushing ourselves forward, urging ourselves towards an existence that's full of potential, of joy, laughter, help, support, equality? That's the difference. You know, I set up a company with a guy called Authentic, and we're making accessible tools for Google Chrome, which will be apps soon as well, which are kind of helping people understand emotions. Like, you could highlight over somebody's face and be like, what emotions is this person having? Or you could do it in real time over Zoom and be like, you know, is this person happy or sad? And it'll tell you. You know, that improves the quality of the group. That improves our existence towards a more successful interaction, because what we're trying to do as autistic people is decode the world around us to make it more accessible, right? That's what we're doing with everything. The technology, the videos, the understanding, the books, everything is to make autism, the world for autism, more accessible. And if you're not doing that, then what are you doing, right? Offering support is great because it helps make access to the world. When you get somebody grounded to a level where they can understand things, you're creating access, you're creating a level of support. But just annoying and bitching and moaning and complaining and being negative and, you know, this person's bad because, you know, 10 autistic influencers who are just fake, or 10 what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, that's not why I started it. I'm like the first autistic influencer, right? Nobody was doing this on YouTube before me. And that's not why I started it. I didn't start to bitch about anybody. I encouraged everyone to come on the platform. I encouraged people to reach out to me. It's like, I want to make, do it. You know, Lo Pavalella, you know, Connor Ward, Thomas Henley, Spectrum Girl, Paige Lyle, Matt Recklebum, loads, Fathering Autism, all these people. I know all these people. They're all good people. They're decent people. Taylor Heaton, the mum on the spectrum, good, decent people who are just trying to do their best for autism. And that's how we do it. We come together as a community, as a group. We stop bitching, we stop complaining, and we move forward. That is my message for World Autism Awareness Day. Okay, guys, I love you. See you in the next video.